Hello,
Hello.
is this thing on? How do you do this?
I don't.
Are we,
I think I forgot.
I guess we'll call this season two.
Season two.
Welcome back, season two. We left you off last year. You were patiently awaiting on who we had that was going to win the conference turn or the NCAA tournament, March Madness, and then we just disappeared.
I mean, life gets busy sometimes. You know what I mean?
It's just like that. So this
But
season two though,
I mean, we it was kind of just a Sopranos move by us, really. Just cut it. You know what I
like
mean?
the Office season one was awful.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't say our work was awful. I would say it's better than Office season one.
Yeah, but comparative season two, we're going to the moon.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So I'm already in space.
Already there. Already halfway there. You're already halfway.
Plus, just what a convenient time to pick it up. Like we saved ourselves the embarrassment of like making preseason college football predictions,
Yeah.
and like we'll jump into it like midway.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Some people might remember. I hate to bring it up, but it was my plan all along to avoid preseason picks because last time I was 0-6,
It was the
and
most impressive thing I'd ever seen.
this year I'm batting 1,000. So you know, I don't know. Got to do what you can, I guess.
That was a miss by us to not let you do preseason team totals again, just because it was so much fun watching. And it's like,
It's
all right, you've got this team over 4.5, and they're just like are getting thumped every game.
it was Virginia UVA, like terrible, terrible. I just I don't know. There was just a lot going on last year. Um, you know, I don't know. Will Anderson had me fooled. But he's in the league now and nobody talks about him, so it's all good.
It is weird. Everybody only talks about Stroud on that team, who's looked pretty good, honestly.
Yeah, no, he has. He has definitely looked good. I think that Will Anderson's actually doing pretty good. I know he plays a lot, which I mean, he should as a first rounder, but yeah, I think Stroud definitely deserves the hype for sure.
Well, what everyone's talking about right now, college football. How do you feel about your team after yesterday's big win? I got to watch the first half, and then we were driving during the second half. So I got home, got the girls to bed, then checked my ESPN out, and it's like y'all won by like 20.
Yeah. It's I definitely think that I know a lot of people talked about it, but Nick Saban doing like a great job of coaching this year. I think that's definitely true. I mean, I think it's mostly having a better defensive coordinator. Kevin Steele knows the expectation, and I think he brings the action. Terry Arnold said last night if he repeated what Kevin Steele told him at halftime, they wouldn't let him do media no more. So, uh, I think that fire is there. I think that's where we kind of get some grit that we didn't have before. Um, so seeing a solid defense, especially like late in games when a good offense could really wear on you, we kind of step up and shut it down. I know Jane Daniels got hurt in the second half, but you know, injuries are a part of football. We've been impacted by injuries as well. So I mean, that's just kind of how the cookie crumbles. But um, I definitely think that we're getting better each week, uh, and definitely shouldn't be counted out.
No, definitely not. I mean that's a pretty good win against I'm not going to say a great LSU team, an LSU team that can beat you.
Yeah,
There's like Jaden Daniels, like you said, he got hurt unfortunately, but he's one of the best players in the country. If not, like if his team was undefeated, he would be the Heisman frontrunner right now
absolutely.
to the way he's played. But unfortunately, it's an award that we give to the quarterback of the team, the best team, basically. He's I don't even know if he's on the list. He's not. You got Jack Plummer and Shadur Sanders in front of him.
Man, that's like I feel like that's like disrespectful. But
Definitely.
I don't know. He's I mean, watching him run around, he's so elusive, and I mean, hardly anybody ever hits him on. I think we popped him twice. One of them was an illegal tackle that wasn't called, uh, a course collar. The other was a unnecessary roughness that a lot of people wanted a targeting call, but I thought unnecessary roughness was probably the right call there. No reason for an ejection. Um, but I think that I don't know. He's just so good. I mean, he's such a good improviser. I think he's like maybe like a more mature like Johnny Manziel, like really good at improvising, but also can stand tall in the pocket. And then he doesn't also have a coach problem. So
That
you
we
know,
know
other
of.
that we know of. So we'll have to see with he's probably, on some kind of painkiller right now. So hopefully he can, not get addicted. I like his chances though. I think that probably got a good head on his shoulders.
I'm gonna get that on a quote card that you are currently rooting for Jaden Daniels to not be addicted to Coke because of what your team did to him yesterday.
Well, hey, I mean, opioids are like the leading
It's a pandemic,
something. Yeah, it's a pandemic. It's a pandemic. They made a show about it. They had Michael Keaton in it. It's a problem. You know what I mean? So
buddy. We took out the Twin Towers because of it.
I mean, like I don't know. So yeah, I know. I do hope he gets the full recovery. I don't know what his injury is exactly. People are saying a broken jaw or concussion, but I'm sure he'll be fine and he'll have a good NFL career.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of teams look for that type of guy, like you said, the improviser now in the NFL, where all the edge guys are so athletic and so quick and so strong now that you got to have a guy that can get out of the pocket and kind of improvise. The days of a quarterback in the NFL just kind of standing there and picking teams apart are pretty rare now.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, you look at, I mean, pretty much any good quarterback now that you think of, besides maybe Kirk Cousins or like Matt Stafford, Jared Goff, but even Jared Goff can kind of change things with his legs. But like everybody has like that second element of escaping the pocket and creating more like like when you think of early success guys like Joe Burrow, like that's probably his best attribute is being able to take a hit and keep rolling, but as you know, roll out of the pocket and find the open guy or pick up a first down when he needs to. So I think that's why people are really high on Caleb Williams as well, even though he's a weirdo.
Super weird.
Yeah. I think him going to USC might be the most like fitting thing of all time. Even I mean, yes, with Lincoln Riley, but like I just feel like he's like LA, like Cali weird.
Plus, it's like, yeah, you might be the number one pick in the draft. You're not like getting, this isn't like drafting Michael Jordan in 91, like right in his prime. This isn't like getting 2014 LeBron. This is like '01 Shaq. This is Caleb Williams. He may not even work. Like he never beat Utah. He's I mean, if you go deep diving into some stats, when he played good teams, he's pretty average. He kind of is one of those guys that flexes on all the bad teams. So I don't know if I would be like asking for you know, part ownership of the team that drafts me if I can't even go into Utah and beat a team full of Mormons.
Yeah, yeah, I don't know, man. I just it's kind of when you want to just pull them in and be like, hey, man, um, just be a normal guy and you're gonna be a millionaire. You know,
Yeah. Just
like
don't just quit talking.
you're gonna be
You'll be good.
fine. You don't need ownership of the team
No. You're
at
gonna
all.
be well off, buddy.
Yeah, just be normal. You could. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Modern males. I don't know.
Like Drake
So
May right now. I think if I'm the Bears, I might take Marvin Harrison Jr. first and then Drake May right after that. And
absolutely.
hope if they end up with the first and third pick, maybe whoever takes Caleb Williams in the second spot and you still get Drake May. But who knows?
Dude, speaking of Marvin Harrison. I tweeted before. I think I got it from Josh Pate actually, but Brock Bowers being the best team in the country. Um, you know, that stock may have gotten some hit here in the past couple of weeks because Georgia still remains to look good, but I think Marvin Harrison might be the best team in the country at this point. I think he might be.
He
He's
was
carrying
a
he's carrying the whole squad.
he's also carrying Parole Tide. I picked up my second loss in college fantasy football yesterday. I still put up big numbers. The other team, I scored like 200 something points. The other dude had one guy from like Tulsa score 73 points by himself. So I'm like, I mean, I did all I could do.
Yeah, dude, I'm kind of over fantasy really. You know, I don't know how publicly known it is, but I did come in last place in my fantasy team last year. I think I had like one win. Um, and then this year I have the first pick overall. Justin Jefferson is my pick. He gets hurt after having, a great start. Now I haven't won since. Um, I had two tight ends on my roster. They had the same bye week. It's some of it is self-inflicted. Um, but at the same time, though, I just can't figure it out. I can't figure it
It's
out.
hard.
I
It's hard.
the two quarterback system we run, I love it. It's awesome on draft day, but week 8, I hate it. Like I'm like, when can this be over? I'm tired of it.
Yeah, I delayed taking a quarterback and ended up taking Justin Fields, who turns out is not any good. And I took Anthony Richardson, who is also not very good, is also hurt for the entire year. So
Soft body.
that didn't help
You,
either.
I think that there should be, like in baseball, we have like WAR, wins above replacement or whatever the A means, but basketball, you have your plus minus. I think in football, we should have hard body or soft body. How durable is this player and how soft is this player? Like Tua, for instance, soft body
Soft
player,
body.
soft body player.
It would be the
Um,
definition of it.
yeah, I think he's kind of gone. Instead of way over here, he's kind of here. Like if this is the middle, and over here is Marshawn Lynch or something. I don't know whoever's hard body. This is the middle. This
Jeff
is the
Saturday.
way over there is like the end of it, like right here where the screen starts with two. You know what I mean?
That's Michael
May-
Thomas.
Maybe he's here, somewhere in here.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think that's what we should do because draft day it kills me, and I hate it because I don't know. I don't know that Anthony Richardson is hard bodied or soft bodied. I
I
need
thought he
help.
was hard body.
I need help.
He's a big dude.
You think? I mean,
I don't even know what got hurt on him.
who knows? He pulled up. Did you see where he pulled up at the fan's house? Fan was like, "Hey,
Yes.
hey, come
Freaking
hang out."
awesome.
They opened the door, and he's just him.
It didn't
Kind of
look
like what,
real.
kind of like
Like you
with a
had to read
guilty
to know what
look.
was going on.
Yeah, I didn't know honestly what he looked like outside of a uniform. To be honest, you put pads on him. I'm like, oh yeah, that's Anthony Richardson right there. But you put the Nike sweatsuit on him, it's like, dang, that dude's pretty big. I wonder what sport he plays. You know?
Yeah, I had the realization this morning, just laying there, just thinking about Auburn football. Like it finally clicked why I can't stand Robbie Ashford, and he's never done anything wrong to me. But it was the Malik Henry. He looks so much like Malik Henry. It almost makes me sick to where
Yeah.
I think that could be Malik Henry. Just like trying to get 3 more years of college football, last chance you
Mhm.
to where after you've already failed at last chance you get a new identity and come back as Robbie Ashford, who is a part-time baseball player who won't make it on Auburn's baseball team, so he's going to be our backup quarterback.
Yeah, I think that's fits because if it really was Robbie Ashford, you know, I think they would he'd be able to figure it out at least from like a speeds perspective or maybe we can run some kind of Nick Marshall offense, but You know, from what I hear, there's been some uncoachable moments or maybe attributes or whatever. He hasn't been coachable. Is what I'm trying to say. And that just doesn't sound like a baseball. Like that doesn't sound like a dual athlete guy to me. Sounds more
Right.
like a Malik Henry.
I don't sound like Jeff Samardzija.
Not at all.
Sounds like
Not at all.
Malik Henry.
It doesn't sound like Adley Rutschman.
No.
I think he would be coachable.
Christian McCaffrey. Remember when Adley tackled Christian McCaffrey?
Mm-hmm.
Pretty cool.
And it's pretty cool. You know what? And I bet you know why that happened? Because Adley Rutschman is coachable.
Correct.
Because he's a dual four guy. You have double the coaches. Gotta be. You have to be. You have to be coachable. So yeah, I think it's Malik Henry. I think we're all being champ.
I wouldn't put it past them. Auburn looked pretty good yesterday for the whole game. Looked pretty good, but I thought we were on pace to have something that we've never seen before. And I jumped the gun a little bit with Jarquez Hunter. I mean, he breaks like two just soup. You see it more in college football, but I feel like you see it less. Just those breakaway runs where like I feel like that used to happen all the time. The great running backs would bust
Yeah.
one a game. I don't feel like you see that a ton anymore. And Jarquez did it twice yesterday, and I'm like, all right, y'all buckle up.
Yeah.
This is fixing to be something you tell your kids about. And then I think he ended up running the ball 9 total times in the game. I'm like, what are we doing? This
Yeah.
offensive-minded genius Hugh Freeze, run the ball up the middle.
Yeah. Dude, sometimes I don't know what he's got going on. I don't know if he's like trying to prove point, like people maybe interior out, exterior have like told him something that he didn't like, and he's like, okay, yeah, I'll prove you wrong. I'll prove you wrong right here, or I'll prove you right. Like I'm gonna do what you tell me to do and show you how wrong you are. But like sometimes, it's like I'll watch the Auburn offense. I'm like, what are we doing here? Like we have a cover to hit, and Peyton Thorne is like running in between the tackles.
Okay, so I was wrong. He had 19 carries.
Well, he had
To
the
be
nine right.
honest,
It's not enough.
that's still not enough. He's averaging 10 yards a carry.
That's not enough.
19 carries, 183 yards, 2 touchdowns. Like that's we just got to keep feeding him.
Yeah, because he's kind of a dog.
He is. We've seen that both on and off the field.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Proven dog everywhere.
Yeah. Poor guy. He went through it there for a little bit. I thought we were going to lose him, but turns out he was completely innocent and that girl should be in prison.
Absolutely. 100%.
Because if roles were reversed, he'd be in prison.
Absolutely.
But yeah, Marvin Harrison just randomly jumping back on the Marvin Harrison train yesterday. We did that college football pick 'em. I had Rutgers. First off, it's disgusting what Vegas did with that line. Plus 18.5. I have Rutgers plus 18.5 in the pick 'em, and Ohio State just throws a back shoulder fade to Marvin Harrison with like 2 minutes left to go up by 19. I'm like, come on. Just let the game end.
Yeah. What are we doing here? Who got the call? One of those private investigators, like, hey, just a heads up, my check's late. And also, I have a big bet on over 18.5. Just a heads up.
Like, what just a strange number. How often do you see 18.5? And then this game ends at 19?
Never. How often do you see a game end at 19?
It shouldn't happen ever, statistically.
I don't know. I guess Rutgers has probably seen every score ever since they're the creators. So they were just probably just adding to the list.
Some scoregamis that are just running it up.
Yeah. Idiot.
What else happened? Clemson, Dabo gets revenge from what was that college from Spartanburg or whatever?
Yeah.
Travie from Spartanburg.
Getting paid 11 million to go 4-4. I don't know what he said. I didn't have the audio on, but I saw him yelling at the end of the game, so I'm sure he said something about it.
He said, buy your stock.
Yeah,
Buy
I
your
mean,
stock.
if I would have been Dabo in that situation, I just beat Notre Dame at home. You know, it was a crowd. I think they stormed the field every game, which is, you know, cool and annoying. Like totally fits Clemson's vibe. Um,
That's a perfect way to describe Dabo. Weird
on
and annoying.
brand. Yeah. I would probably say like, yeah, I'm getting paid 11 million to, you know, go 5-4 or whatever they are now. So, and then like I probably would have wore like a Rolex or something, or flash my G-Shock, hit the Shador on him.
No, he
Uh,
went off. He went off on that poor kid, telling him he just. Which I'm not saying. I take that back. That's not a poor kid. That kid went out of his way to take a shot at
Absolutely.
Dabo, who has raised your program to where before Dabo got there, Clemsoning was a thing to where like you think you're gonna win it all, and then you somehow like brutally lose it. And then since Dabo's got there, I mean they've won two titles, right? They've
Yeah,
had
think
like
about how many times
11
they
10
made the
win seasons.
playoffs. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Like
mean,
they might get dethroned by Georgia here soon, but for a while it was Alabama or Clemson.
yeah, 100%. I just don't, yeah, I don't know why like their fans are so rough on them this year. I mean, it's one bad year. I don't think they were super great last year, but I mean, come on now. Like,
You want me to tell you, in the words of Dabo, why it's happening?
tell me.
It's because the expectation is above the appreciation.
There it is.
And when your expectation is so much bigger than what your appreciation is, that's when you become a toxic, violent fan base. Because here at Clemson, we don't care about NIL. Jesus is our NIL. That's our name, image, likeness. And we're not worried about paying nobody. We're not worried about getting no transfers. And it like he's gonna run that program into the ground, being honest, if that's the way he actually looks at it. If he doesn't
Absolutely.
adapt here soon. But still I mean, he's earned his paycheck at Clemson already.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, I didn't really have a problem with him clapping back. My first thought, to be honest, was why is he doing a caller, you know, like a call-in show? You know, I don't see any other high-profile coaches doing a call-in show. I feel like you're just setting yourself up
Doesn't
there.
Saban do it
He didn't do a call-in. Like
with
no,
like Eli
I don't think
Gold and them?
I don't know if fans call in. They
I don't
might.
either.
I think it's like usual fan. Like it's probably like the same 20
Yeah,
people throughout the season, you know, changing their voice and whatnot. Um,
the plant. People have
yeah,
been saying that about the Clemson thing that it was a plant. that guy's not real, and they was just to
he just wanted.
show Dabo just wanted to flex.
I mean, that would be a Dabo move.
It would be. It's the same people that think Chris Rock and Will Smith was fake.
That was real. I don't
Had
care
to
what
have
anybody
been.
says.
Will Smith's been in a psych ward for 9 months, but that was all a publicity stunt.
Oh man. Well, it's been 20 minutes and we haven't mentioned Michigan and Connor Stallion, so I guess we should probably pick that up. What's your thoughts on that?
I don't know. I'm at this point. The only thing that would surprise me is if Connor Stallions came out and went against Michigan. Because I don't see that happening. I think he is. I mean, you hear the stories of him. Instead of going to Michigan, he looked like coming out of high school. He looked at all of their coaches and realized Michigan likes to hire people with a military background. So this dude joined the Navy and studied sign stealings and worked for our country on how to like pick up what these other countries were doing. And then he came back to Michigan. This was all a part of his big plan to come back and work for Michigan for $50,000 a year, stealing signs from Central Michigan on a Friday night football game. Like what a guy. I
I
wish
mean,
I wish Auburn had one of these guys so bad.
it's what you need. If you are here and you want to get here, you need a guy like that. You know,
100%.
unless you just have crazy boosters and like, you know, I don't know. I don't know what else you need. Like, I mean, you really need like a Nick Saban or like a Sarkeesian or you know, now Senator Tommy Tuberville. You know what I mean? Like, you need a dog that's going to just build a program, or you need a Connor Stout. You
Yeah,
know?
because Michigan had the boosters. Like they gave
Yeah,
Harbaugh a private jet out the out the gate and all the money he wanted, and he still couldn't win until Connor Stallions got there. He's
yeah.
who changed the program.
It's just crazy. I don't know. You know, I think it's pretty funny. Um, personally, I think that you know, I think they should just. It's frustrating now because they are a good football team, but I just feel like uh they're so fraudulent with their big wins that it's like, we gotta take them into the playoff. Like, I don't think they, even without stealing signs, their schedule is so easy they probably would be in the same position. But they're gonna beat Ohio State, they're gonna beat Penn State at the end of the year, and they're gonna be in the Big Ten playoff game playing whoever from the West,
Iowa probably.
and win 14-0 and make the playoff, and then they're gonna win. They probably lose. I don't know. It's a weird year. I don't know. But
They'll
let's
lose
say
that first game.
let's say they win, because I'm sure that they're scouting now. Like, they were scouting Georgia last year, um, but they didn't get to that game, so like it didn't matter. So like surely they're like, all right, these are the five teams that are probably gonna make it. Like, let's go ahead and start going out. Um, so I don't know, but I just think that it's frustrating even seeing them playing. So I think definitely.
Yeah, I mean it's 100% cheating what they're doing, but that's definitely like a poor person rule to where like every team could technically do it if they could afford to do it.
Yeah,
But because everyone can't afford to do it, it has to be against the rules to, even the playing field. But I mean, you hear stories like TCU knew about it. So TCU was sending, fake signs in to
yeah,
purposely like put Michigan in spots for them to score on them, basically. And it's just like, why didn't every team do that?
yeah. If everybody
'Cause,
knows it,
yeah,
you know.
they're saying that it was like the worst kept secret in college football amongst the people, in the sport.
Yeah. My thing is, and Nick Saban touched on this on the Pat McAfee show, either this week or last week. They asked him about it, and he's like, he was saying, why don't we just do what the NFL does and have uh
Headset.
the headset? And he's like, say like make it just a Power Five rule. Like, if some of the smaller like FCS schools like can't afford the headset helmets, like I'm sure it's probably an elaborate, like, there's like encrypted so you can't pick it up and all this stuff. So I could see it being expensive, from like a data protection standpoint, but like have like a Power Five rule, because all the Power Five schools would be able to afford it first and foremost. But just incorporating, especially now that we have the expanded playoff, like I don't see why not, because it's like the Power Five is separating itself from the Group of Five. So or do like an FBS rule, because I would assume all the FBS schools would be able to afford some form of it. So
Yeah.
I don't see why that would be an issue going forward, with this being such an elaborate manifested thing by Connor Stallions. Um, but I don't know. It's definitely an interesting situation. I hate Michigan. Uh, I've never really liked them. I like Tom Brady. I think Derek Jeter probably would have went there, but there's a reason he didn't, because he's calculated and he's a goat. So um, I don't know, but I think that death penalty and Harbaugh will probably just escape to the NFL, just like Pete Carroll.
That's what's gonna happen is if they don't punish him like right now or before the playoffs, like he's just gonna go to the NFL and he'll never even see those punishments, and eventually everyone will forget about him.
Yep, that's how it goes. And he he already had to sit out, which I think it was kind of like a you know, whatever rule that he broke, like recruiting rule. Um, it's like one of those if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying recruiting rules, but he already had to sit out for breaking the rules this year, and it was a totally different, not even connected.
Yeah,
So it's like, okay, I mean, they need to be like voided of their wins. I mean, they're breaking multiple rules. So I
that's
don't
why I'm
know.
kind of hoping because he's already got in trouble once this year. Like I think at some point you have to make an example out of these teams of like you can't just cheat and we're going to suspend you for the first 3 games of your season that in Michigan's case didn't matter if Harbaugh was there or not. Like they played 3 just pretty cupcake teams. Like if they get caught, they're caught cheating now, what are they going to do? Suspend them for the next 3 games of next year? The first 3 games? Like
Yeah,
that's not going to do anything. That's just a slap on the wrist. Teams will just start cheating and, setting their schedule up to play nobody in the first 3 weeks, like most teams do.
yeah, yeah. I mean, what is worse is you're cheating in the Big Ten when you don't need to. If this is an SEC West team or even a Big 12 team or I don't whatever if you have to play against Utah every year, maybe, but you don't have to cheat. You play your 2 toughest opponents at the end of the year. You have 10 games of tape to watch on your 2 toughest opponents, and you're still cheating.
Yep. Well, didn't they get like blown out by Wisconsin the year before they started cheating or something?
Yeah,
Michigan did. So who knows if they weren't cheating this whole time, how would we really look at them? How would
yeah,
those games have went?
that's true. Crazy, man.
Well,
Craziness.
give me your final 4 as of today.
Like
How do
if
you think this all plays out?
if the season ended today or in 5 weeks.
Do both. The some COVID happens, we can only play the championship games. Who's the final 4?
Season ends today.
Yep.
Boom.
Right. Done.
Georgia number one.
Yes.
Um, with or without Brock Bowers. Um, number two. Number two. I gotta go Ohio State. They beat Notre Dame.
And Penn
Um,
State.
and Penn State. Um, you know, I mean they haven't really done anything to lose it. Like they're 8-0. They would win the Big Ten. They have a decent schedule. Like their strength of schedule is like fourth in the top out of the top 10 teams, I think. So after that, I would go Florida State. They've looked pretty dominant. They beat a talented LSU team. Um, handled business with Duke, Clemson. Trying to think who I think they have one other big win. Maybe that's it. But I mean, they've looked, good. I think they had one kind of struggle with Boston College, but I think Boston College is kind of a sneaky team, so
That was also during a hurricane.
that as well. So, you know, they survived there, and then I would have to go Washington. Also undefeated, beat Oregon, who's a great team. They just beat USC at home or on the road at home at USC. So that would be my top 4. I mean, with at the end of the season, I think it's probably going to look a little bit of the same. I don't see if Ohio State loses to Michigan, I probably still wouldn't put Michigan in there because they're, a bunch of cheaters. But I think, if they beat Ohio State, I think they would switch. I don't think, um, they would be like number 5 for me, I guess. Um, so if they beat Ohio State, I would move, one of them out, and then
They'll have
whoever
to
wins
beat
that,
Penn State too.
and Penn State.
Penn
So
State
who,
on the road.
so if Michigan win, if they win that last game of the year, they're in, and then if Ohio State wins it, so they're in. So the Big Ten I would say either SEC is going to be either Georgia or Alabama. If Alabama can take care of business, I think if Alabama beats Georgia, Georgia's schedule hasn't really been that strong. Um,
Georgia's
and
schedule has at the beginning of the year, we thought that Georgia's schedule was like cupcake, and it's really turned out to be a little better than what people think. I'll see if I can pull it up real
for sure,
fast.
I think it still ranks pretty low though. Like it's still
Yeah,
like 90 or 100 or something. But I mean, it is tough. Like Missouri was a tough game last night, and then like not having Brock Bowers definitely changes things. But I think they go to Knoxville next week. Or no, they have Ole Miss at home and then to Knoxville, I think.
yep.
So
So
I mean
this is a
that
3 game stretch of Missouri, Ole Miss, and Tennessee, who are all ranked in the top 15.
yeah. So I think that's a little bit better, but um, you know, I think that if Alabama beats them, I know there's a lot of talk about wins and if you have two teams like an undefeated team that goes into the conference championship and loses, they should still deserve that spot because it's the extra game. But I think that late in the season, a head to head, and it's one or the other goes, you have to give it to the team that won head to head, in my opinion. Um, if they have the same record, it's like a tiebreaker, I guess. Um, I just don't see how you can put Georgia in the playoff if Alabama beats them the game before. But
Right.
I mean that I'm talking like that's the easy task. Like Alabama's gonna have to play perfect in that game. But I definitely think that if they do play good, they have a shot. Um, and then Texas, like as well. I don't know. Florida State would have to lose. Florida State would have to lose. Washington would have to lose.
Washington will have to rematch Oregon.
And yeah, Oregon wins that game, then it's like the same thing with the SEC. So I mean, a lot's going to happen. A lot has to happen for Texas, and they have a backup quarterback. So you know, it's um, it's tough.
But are we on Arch Watch?
Is he coming in?
I mean, he's been taking first team snaps, is what everyone's saying. He's been splitting them with Malik Murphy just in case they
Oh
need
yeah,
him in.
he's on the red shirt. So
Yeah, so they can burn his red shirt with a chance to make the playoffs. Washington plays Utah this week, at Oregon State next week, Washington State, and then they would have a rematch with Oregon, I think. So
that's
that's
that's a tough stretch.
yeah. Right now Utah is ranked 13th, Oregon State's ranked 12th, and then you get Oregon, who's probably going to be like number 5 by that point.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that if the season ended right now, I mean, a couple of them are interchangeable with their own conference, but it would still probably look the same. Um, Either Oregon or Washington, Ohio State or Michigan, and then I guess it would either be. I just don't know if Texas wins out.
I think
They're good.
Texas' biggest scare was this past week.
Yeah, they're good. They're a solid squad.
Their defense is just so much better than what everyone expected.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they've got TCU, Iowa State, and Texas Tech.
Yeah, they should. They should take care of business. But that loss to Oklahoma kills them right now because I mean there's going to be so many teams that are just right here, or undefeated. Uh, but this is why we're going to the 12 team so we can get the full picture. I think right now with NIL, 4 teams or 2 teams is not even close to what is a good representation of the top teams.
No. Yeah, right. As of last week, Texas would have probably rematched with Oklahoma in the conference championship, and then getting to avenge that loss, I think, helps a ton. But now it looks like Oklahoma State is tied with Texas for the Big 12, so I think it'd be those two because they don't have sides. I don't think.
No, it's like yeah, it's just all one. So how about Oklahoma State takes an L at home early in the season to South Alabama? Now they beat Oklahoma, last ever Bedlam or whatever it's called.
Crazy. Yeah, because Oklahoma State refuses to play Oklahoma if they're not in the Big 12, which is one of the softest things I've ever heard.
That's pretty soft. That's like the Texas A&M stuff. Soft.
Yep.
Just play each other.
The Big 12 is just weird. Not only did they lose to South Alabama, I forgot how bad that game was. 33-7
Awful.
at home. Just got
Awful.
smoked. And they lost to Iowa State after that.
Pretty crazy. It's just, I mean, like, I'm just looking at the top. I mean, LSU was at 14 going into this week. So, like, even like the top 15, 16. Um, I mean, I wouldn't, if I'm, a top team, I wouldn't want to see any of these teams really.
No.
Like even Ole Miss, I don't think a ton of Ole Miss, but I mean, they'll beat you. Like they can kind of play whatever game you want to play. Like you want to play rough and tough, slow it down, like they can play that. And if you want to go in a shootout, they can do that as well. So,
Yeah, Jackson Dart is finally living up to that sweet name he's got.
oh yeah,
And Judkins, you know, they're mainly like you think Lane Kiffin, you think a team that's just airing it out. Really, they're running the ball and then just kind of letting Dart play off the play action or, throw it when he needs to. And Judkins has been huge. I want to say
yep,
he's up like he's plus 20,000 for the Heisman, but I mean he's at least on the board. Jackson Dart's plus 15,000, tied with Caleb Williams,
wow, that's
who we
crazy.
thought was going to be a lock to win it, but I mean he just can't beat anybody.
Yeah, yeah. If anybody tells you anything's a lock nowadays, especially preseason, don't believe it. Don't believe it.
It's impossible. Anything that seems too good to be true is.
Don't believe it. I think I've learned that. The betting has taught me that on anything, but especially college football now. If somebody tells you, hey, Will Riker's not missing a kick, especially at home,
There it
don't
goes.
don't believe it.
Double doink off the uprights.
Don't believe it. But I don't know, man. It's a great time of the year. It's a great time to get back going with the pod. Um, we got college football coming up starting tomorrow or Monday.
College basketball,
Yeah. What did I say?
college football.
Well, it's also starting.
Hey, it's
Um,
starting up too. I mean, this is the first
but
pod back.
yeah, college basketball, excuse me, is starting Monday. So I'm pretty pumped, man. What do you think? How you feeling?
I feel good. Like I put Baylor on the clock probably 4 weeks ago. And I was just like, all right, college football doesn't really mean anything. Like anybody who acts like they care how their college football team does, they're just weirdos.
For
Like
sure.
it's college basketball season. And we're ready to get some swag surfing going. We're gonna dunk on Baylor. I think we're plus 1.5 right now. So for that game to be Baylor, who's like a blue blood every year, that team, I'd say they're one of the top six programs in basketball. For us to pick them up first game of the year and the spread only be 1.5, it says something about Auburn's program. And I'm excited. I'm ready to see what we got. I don't really dive into the like recruits very much, or every once in a while the transfers will come. I like to just watch the game and just see who sticks out to me.
Yep. Yeah, for sure. I'm kind of in a similar boat. Like, there's just too much going on. I mean, it's hard to balance, football recruits, basketball recruits, baseball recruits. So I don't pay attention to, or pay a whole lot of attention to the recruiting. I do a little bit here and there on Twitter, but um, I'm so excited. I think we start with Morehead State, but we have a pretty tough stretch like towards the end of the month. Um, but I don't know, man. Nate Oates has turned me into a huge basketball fan. Like I was a solid basketball fan. Like I'd watch all the games, cheer, whatever. But now I'm like, October hits, I'm like, oh, it's basketball season. Like it's coming. Um, so I think that's pretty cool. I don't know, man. It's more stuff during the week. Like it just, it's just a great time of year. You know,
Uh,
you
the
you have
first day of college basketball feels like Christmas morning.
you have sports like every day of the week now, and it's great. And it's not. I mean, baseball is tough. It's long. It's kind of slow. Like, it's great during the summer. You don't have to pay a whole lot of attention. But like right now, we're all inside because it's gonna be cold. You know, we got basketball every day pretty much, and it's just like the best thing ever.
Let's see if I can pull up see if we got any futures for see where Alabama lands on this list. Which we this might be a topic that we go over in the next, like, here when we run out of some more ideas. But the Plainsman pod, they just had this conversation about
Shout out.
yeah, shout out, because I'm completely stealing this idea from them. But it was their favorite and their favorite coaches that don't coach their team and their least favorite coaches. Like the first two coaches that pop into my brain is Nate Oates and Musselman. Like,
Like the
and
same guy.
my third one might be, does Brian Harson, does he coach anywhere? He might be third. Hugh Freeze might sneak in there for my most hated coaches. Like everyone in the SEC West, everyone in the SEC East,
Yeah,
even some guys that aren't there anymore. Like my list of coaches that I don't like could be the longest list I've ever made.
pretty much everybody
Yeah.
except Bruce, maybe for you.
Bruce's love 1-1.
Bruce and Butch.
Yeah. Butch don't really do it for me as much, but I like to dive into Auburn baseball, like World Series time.
Yeah,
That's when I'm like, all right, Connor, who's good?
yeah,
And that's it.
I feel that. There's a lot to keep up with baseball too. But yeah, I totally get it. Uh, I totally get the hatred for Nate Oates. He's a Yankee kind of transport kind of guy. Um, but I love him. I think he's got a lot of fire. I think he's great for what we got going on. As like a new, maybe not new. No, I mean, we're new to like the elite level of basketball. Like we've had some coaches where we were very solid, but now we're competing for a conference championship every year. Well, really every other year is more of our schedule, I guess. But um, we're trying to get it to every year. So I definitely get it. Eric Musselman is kind of another guy like that, but I really don't like him either. Um, I like Arkansas basketball, for like who they are, like their traditions and stuff. Uh, but I can't say that I like Eric Musselman. But yeah, coaches that I hate, pretty long list as well. Um, Jim Harbaugh's up there, but even before the cheating stuff, I don't like the Ohio State guy now. What's his name?
Ryan Day.
Yeah, Ryan Day. I don't like him. I don't like Lou Holtz either. But you know what I mean? Like Lou Holtz is old. Okay, you don't have to do it right after the game.
No, I don't like Ryan Day either, but I was 100% on Ryan Day's side there. Like, if you don't want the smoke, stay out the kitchen, Lou Holtz. I
I
don't care if
mean,
you're 8 years old or 108 years old.
it's
Stay out
he
of
just
the stay out of the boxing ring if you don't want to get smacked around a little bit.
he's just an old head. You know what I mean? Like running his mouth. Let him be. Like he's already heard enough after you beat him. Just let the pads talk. I thought that was an unnecessary shot personally, but whatever. Teaches them. Um, Jimbo's up there for me. I don't like Jimbo that much, especially now that he's tried to beef with Nick. You beef with Nick, like
What do you mean tried to?
it's on site.
I'm pretty sure he said he was going to whip y'all's, you know what? Insert a word Dabo Sweeney said last week on the phone with
Yeah,
Jared from Richardson.
yeah.
And I'm pretty sure they beat you that year, didn't they?
Um,
Last year,
I believe so. Well, no, last year they didn't beat us. 2 years ago they
or
did.
was that the year before when they said it?
He said it after they beat us. He said it going into this year or last year. I thought maybe that was. I mean, that just doesn't feel like it was that long ago.
I know.
But once in a while, I guess that's good. Um, but whatever. I don't know. Whatever. Trying to think who else. Who else
Quit
do I not?
asking.
Who else do I not like? Um, I don't know, man. Josh Heupel's up there. Really kind of hate him.
I can't hate him. He just looks so much like my Uncle Josh.
That's a good point.
I just see my Uncle Josh coaching out there. That's what it looks like.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I'm drawing blanks. Oh, Mike Gundy, cool
You know,
mullet. Keep your mouth shut. He beefed
okay.
with Nick once. I don't. I hold grudges. Sue me.
Anybody that's beef with Nick,
Anybody.
I'm the same way though. I'll fight for Bruce like with everything I've got.
Oh yeah. So you don't like Hamas very much?
Not at all, not even a little bit.
Yeah,
I'm so anti-Hamas.
I'm with you there.
You don't even see those letters in my house.
Yeah, I'm with you there.
You should be. Bruce is one of your brothers.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't hate Bruce. I don't love him, but
You can't hate
I
Bruce.
respect him. You know what I mean? There's a lot of respect there. I hate him. I don't hate him. I respect him.
The SEC basketball though has made a like look at where it was like probably I'll say 10 years ago, but really less than that. At that point it was just Kentucky was the only team that really had a chance to win the whole thing. Like
Yeah.
looking at the championship winner odds, Kentucky's in fifth, Tennessee's in seventh, Arkansas is around like 10 or 12, Bama and Auburn around that like 15 to 20-ish mark. So that's what, five teams in the top 20, top 25 area. Auburn's the last one at the top 25 at plus 5,000. Bama's plus 3,300. Arkansas plus 3,000. Tennessee plus 2,000. Kentucky plus 18. That's good. Like
Yeah,
it's fun to be able to enjoy and watch like good basketball in
for
the
sure.
SEC. I know we're not to that point of like the Big 12 and all that yet, but I mean we could get there.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think some years we are. I think some years we are for sure. But they're just a little bit more established, probably more consistent. But I don't think we're very far. I think the competition of nice facilities and recruiting and money and NIL, I think helps probably a lot, probably favors us. Um, so I think that, like especially, Greg Sankey seems to be a really good uh commissioner that likes to grow all sports really. But, I think basketball is definitely up there for him. So I think that we're definitely I think, say about next 5, 10 years will probably be the top conference, I would say, in basketball.
I could see that. Need
Definitely
some of these.
girls basketball. I mean, we dominate. I feel like
We're getting
we
carried right now by LSU.
LSU, South Carolina. I mean, they're
South
both.
Carolina too, yeah.
I mean, both of them just dogs. But trying to think. I guess that's it. I don't think anybody. I mean, Tennessee there for a long time with Pat Thumbett, but not really
RIP.
anymore. Yeah, R.I.P. Legend.
One thing that Tennessee does that I think a lot of teams should do in like normal sports, like Tennessee's college basketball team will rock the baby blue. Like you can just do whatever colors you want.
Yeah.
Like sprinkling in some baby blue with that orange
Oh
is
yeah.
sweet.
Stop
Um,
trying to do the smoke grays,
yes, please.
Tennessee. It's
Go baby
ugly.
blue and orange.
Nobody wants to see your sweat stains, bruh.
No.
It's
Lord no.
awful. And the black, dude. Just stop. Just go baby blue. It's sick.
All right. Who do you think the top five are World Series winners for next year, top 5. Go.
Top 5. Braves,
First. Yes. Say it.
Astros,
Third.
Phillies,
Fifth. You're missing 2 and 4. Well,
Rangers.
Rangers, 4. You know the
Those
second
two.
one. You're just scared to say it.
Is it them? Who is it?
I I
It's
think
not the
there's a
Yankees, is it?
No, Yankees are 6. It's the other team. Think about Braves in the playoffs. And
Let's say
not
the
that
Phillies.
one game.
I
The
already say
Phillies
the
are 5th.
Phillies.
Yeah, I'm thinking about another playoff series. Like maybe 2 or 3 playoff series like in the last 5 years. A team that's there pretty often. Maybe they're out west.
Oh, the Dodgers. Duh.
Yeah. So I said that. I know who you're thinking of. And then when you said, wait, is it them? Then I was like, wait, I think he's thinking about the Yankees.
Yeah.
I was
I
like,
forgot about
but
the
maybe he's
Dodgers.
talking about the Dodgers. Yeah,
It's a,
Diamondbacks,
what are they, 7th?
12th, plus 2,500. Same
That's
as
it.
the Mets and the Twins.
Oh. How about the Twins rebranding? They're kind of cool.
Did they?
I mean, not really, but like their uniforms are cooler.
This like recently happened? I must have missed it.
Yeah, this year, like their uniforms this year, they like got more minutes. It says Minnesota, and they got like some like light pinstripes. It's a cool look. It's a cool modern look.
I guess I just didn't notice because I just really don't care about the Twins at all. Like they're the
Yeah,
biggest
no,
poverty organization that there is.
yeah, yeah. It's pretty bad. They have, you know how Auburn has like the cream, like off white with the navy print. They kind of have like a uniform like that too. That looks pretty good.
Hockey, how you feeling?
Not great,
Your team
you know,
stinks.
but I think I am gonna go Wednesday and see what's going
Let's
on in person.
go.
So that'll be cool.
So
I
you can
am
get
gonna
the boys
go.
fired up.
Yeah, I think so. So here I'm gonna give you some front, and then we're gonna run it, give you the end of the story, and we're gonna run back to the beginning.
Okay. I like this. Little time travel action.
All right, I'm headed to softball league night. Get on the elevator. All right, like a week before the season starts. There's a hockey player on the elevator. He's carrying 2 sticks, like the CCM sticks or whatever. Got a nice little clean cut. I'm carrying
Some
my
lettuce
bats or
on him.
whatever. No, not yet. I guess he's had the preseason cut. So he walks off. He's like, "Hey man, good luck in your game." And I was like, "Hey, you too." And that was it. That's where it is. The back of his shirt, Capitals logo. Whoa. Okay, that's a hockey player. Here's why it makes sense. Like, wow, he's living above me somewhere. Find the
Yeah.
penthouse. The Capitals practice across the street. And I'm gonna go to a practice and I might live stream it. Like Connor Stallions and puppy. See if we can get a first round draft or 1-1.
You should have
So
got one. You wanted to get 1-1 this last draft and get
truth,
Bedard, but
truth. You know, it is what it is. But yeah, so they practice across the street. I'm going at some point and I'm gonna take a picture. It's gonna be sick.
we started 8-2, and I'm beating my chest pretty hard. We had a 5-game road stretch that was pretty intense, and we went through we started in Seattle and just dog walked everybody in Canada,
Yeah.
and then made our way back to New York. And now Adam Fox got hurt, and I'm wishing I wouldn't have beat my chest too early because this could get early. This could get ugly. Because the worst part about hockey injuries is they don't tell you what happened. They
No.
just say upper body or lower body.
And he's out. That's all you know.
Like lower body could be, or upper body could be anything from a headache to, he got his head smashed in a car accident,
Yeah.
and they will never tell you. So I'm worried. I'm very worried. I
Yeah.
don't think Panarin can carry us.
Backstrom just had to leave the team this week for I think personal reasons. I know that was like pretty emotional. I don't know exactly what's going on, but that definitely hurts us losing a vet like that. So I think we're kind of in the same boat, but I think right now we're like in the middle of the pack instead of leading the pack. So we'll probably just drop to the bottom, and hopefully y'all can keep it within reason and kind of make a late season third or something.
Yeah, if we can just get Fox back, just keep the boat afloat,
Yep,
get Fox back, then we'll be all right.
for
And
sure.
just keep everyone healthy.
Yeah, absolutely.
See if they got any player futures. McDavid's third to win the Rocket Richard, whatever that is.
Never a bad bet. Never a bad bet there.
Bedard's minus 165 to win the Calder, which is the Rookie of the Year. That's about it. I love looking through all these. See, Adam Fox is fourth to win the Norris Trophy, Defender of the Year. And now he's just down, and nobody knows.
That's tough. That's tough.
But
If they were across the street, I'd go get some insider info.
I would appreciate it.
We'll
Maybe one of
see.
their guys know. Check in on my guy when you go over there. Ask
I'll
him,
see.
ask the boys, see if they got any info for me.
I'll see if Tom's over there. I'll chat him up.
Uh, let's leave Tom out of this. But so about it. Are you ready for a 2-minute drill?
Yeah, let's roll with it.
So we're gonna add this in. This week, I will feed Cole rapid fire questions that I've just randomly thought of this week. Next week, he will feed me, and we'll just back and forth. If you have any questions you'd like us to ask, throw off the top. This is just the most random things that pops into my brain, and we'll just roll with it. See what happens.
Let's do it.
All right, you ready?
Yep.
Favorite Halloween candy?
Reese's. Reese cups.
Who's your favorite to win the Heisman as of today?
My personal favorite or what I actually think is going to happen?
Both.
Brock Bowers with injury. Yeah. Best team in the country. Number 2. It goes to the best player. He's the best player. Who's better than him? Nobody.
I agree.
All right. Whatever. It's kind of more of a career award for him because he's been so overlooked. But anyways, who I actually think is going to win it, Petix, whatever his first name is, lefty.
Oh, Michael Penix.
Yeah, Penix.
Washington quarterback.
Washington quarterback, lefty.
Okay. Do you think animals can communicate like amongst each other? Like the way we do? Like, do you think when my dog barks at the other dogs, do you think they just hear like bark, or do you think they're like going back and forth with the
Oh, I
barks?
think 100% they're going back and forth. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think most of the time with dogs, they're talking smack because you hear one
Yeah.
dog 2 streets over, and then, this dog next to you is like, we ain't taking that. And he starts barking back. And
It's
so I think it's mostly just talking smack to each other. Because you see what also you got a big mob of people. You could be walking down the street in the city, hundreds of people. All right. You could be at a parade. There's 2 dogs. They're gonna find each other and they're gonna start talking smack to each other. Guarantee it. They could
100%.
they could see, they just see legs, right? They're like below your waist. They see another, furry paw over there. Uh-uh. Like, I don't even care if you're 2 golden retrievers, they're barking at each other.
Yeah, and they dogs always feel like they have to get the last word in. Like I don't know if
Absolutely.
you've ever like scolded a dog or yelled at a dog to quit barking. They always sneak in that last like
Oh
just
yeah.
one under their breath, like woof. And it's like, look, you're not gonna get the last word in with me.
No shot.
So I'm yelling back at her, and then most of the time she'll sneak one in again, like testing me. Yeah, so or I'm like, hey, quit barking. She'll just
Yeah.
dogs are big turf war people. That was
For sure.
I think you nailed that one on the head. I think they like to yap a little bit. They
They're like the
like the
original,
chat.
like they probably started gangs. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
the
100%.
original gangs, but it's just themselves. They're one person gangs, and then they have a couple buddies in the cul-de-sac, that they run with. But like they have to fight it out first,
Yeah.
so that's my theory.
I think you crushed it. The first 2 minute drill, I think it went exactly as planned.
Perfect.
All right. Love you guys.
Get out of here.